We're going to shift our attention to leadership and management. This may be my favorite topic of the five, and favorite because we're going to be talking about people. And is there anything more interesting or anything more difficult than leading and managing people? I'm reminded one of my favorite quotes in that regard comes from Peter Drucker, the management guru and author. He said the following. He said, "Only three things occur naturally in an organization: friction, confusion, and underperformance. Everything else requires leadership." I think that really speaks well about leadership, and particularly what we'll be talking about over the next 2 weeks. So today we're going to start off talking about the attributes of leaders, particularly leaders in business, like you all. Here's what I'd like to start with, just to get you thinking about leaders and leadership. I'd like you to identify, if you could meet with one leader and spend time with, have lunch, have dinner, have a beer, have a cup of coffee with one leader, who would that leader be? Someone who's alive or not, could be a business leader, a political leader, a religious leader. If you could pick one great leader, someone in your mind who you really respect and spend time with, who would that person be? So we got one. So Josh says Barack Obama. That would be an interesting get together. Yep. Who else? Let's hear some more. Jeff Bezos. That would be interesting. Jeff Bezos. This is useless trivia. Jeff Bezos and I went to the same high school in Miami. He was a couple of years after me. I'm sure he says the same thing when, he thinks about his school, that he says, I went to high school with Tim Fulton, or probably not. Biden, our current president, good. Tim Cook, the CEO at Apple, that would be interesting. Jim Rohn, motivational speaker. Jack Welch, we're going to talk, I'll reference Jack Welch today, the CEO, former CEO at GE. Simon Sinek, boy, that would be interesting. Best-selling author, TED Talk. So I'd like to start off with this question because it I hope stimulated your mind not only about great leaders, but also maybe some of the attributes. Because my guess is, as you were thinking about your leader, you were also thinking about the attributes of leaders, the attribute of the person that you chose, and what caused you to choose that particular person. So let's do this next. I'd like you to think about your favorite actor or actress, whether it's TV, it's a movie, it's Broadway. Favorite actor or actress. Just picture for a moment that person in your mind. I tend to think of somebody like Tom Hanks or Kevin Costner, Meryl Streep. Favorite actor or actress. Picture that person in your mind for just a moment. TV, movies, stage. And I'd like for each of you, again, using the chat function, I'd like you to identify one or more attributes of great actors and actresses. One or more ways that you would describe this person. So Marco says Denzel Washington, and what is it about Denzel Washington? What characteristic? Michael says James Earl Jones. So what is it that they do? How would you describe them as a great actor or actress? What attribute, what characteristic? Halle Berry, diverse roles, no question. She's been in a variety of different roles. Anthony Hopkins, dedicated to Melly says, dedicated to the craft. They have to be. Imagine the effort, the practice, the time that they commit to what they do. They prepare for months for the roles that they take on. Willing to be turned down. Yeah, they've got to be persistent. They've got to be willing to deal with failure. For every great movie, there's one or two bad ones that they've been in. Versatility, yeah, taking on a variety of different roles. So I asked this question because, as you think about, we've identified a half a dozen or so different resilient, Marco said, we identified a number of different characteristics of great actors and actresses. And if I asked you for a list of attributes of great leaders, would that list look anything similar to the list we've just come up with for actors and actresses? I think it does. And I like to go through this exercise because I think it suggests something really interesting and important about leaders. In that, one, there's certainly a lot of similarities between great actresses, great actors, and great leaders. Interesting, the similarity between those two.